Ceacht Grealish.
Carla. Minister, it's been a terrible year for people involved in the arts and the creative economy generally, with no insight to the suffering. It should have been an amazing year in Galway in particular, showcasing the best of what the region has to offer, not just in the terms of culture and arts, but tourism offering too. The Galway 2020 European Capital of Culture programme had been forecast to bring many tens of thousands of extra visitors and tourists from abroad to the west of Ireland, and many millions of extra euro pumped into the local economy. It's a perfect example how the creative economy is such an important part of economic success and even survival of an area. Of course, many events associated with Galway 2020 have gone ahead, but in a very different way that had been envisaged. And I wish them the very best in the rest of their endeavours for the rest of the year and into the new year. And while extending good wishes, I would also do the same to the organisers of Barbaro, the wonderful International Children's Festival in Galway, which got underway this week and runs until October 18. It's a mix of in-person performances and online events. It has to be a struggle to put on such a festival in the middle of a pandemic, but they have done a fantastic job. The arts and culture sector is likely to be among the last to recover when the coronavirus pandemic is over. That's according to a report published by the Department of Business, Enterprise and Innovation in August. The Focus on Sectors report and the audiovisual sector highlighted the fact that efforts to get film and television production back up and running would be complicated by social distancing requirements. It also forecast a bottleneck in demand for film crew and services. And a particular problem, it stressed, Minister, would be the inability to secure vital insurance for various projects. According to the Western Audiovisual Forum, the creative economy is estimated to be worth almost €500 million in Galway, Mayo and Roscommon, and it creates more than 7,000 jobs, both directly and indirectly. But the prediction is that losses as a direct result of the COVID-19 in these three counties are at least 25%. In real terms, that's up to €150 million lost to the region's economy, and the jobs of up to 2,000 people lost are in serious jeopardy. A report carried out by Inuai Galway for the Western Development Commission a few years ago came to similar conclusions about the value of the creative sector. That includes everything from craft and culture to creative industries. The report, which was published as part of the wider European study, stressed that the creative economy plays a strong role in the enhancement of the local economy in the Western region. In other words, this is not just about preserving and enhancing our cultural offerings, it's also very much about euros and cents, putting food on the table for thousands of families. The Inuai Galway report stressed that the creative sector can generate important social and cultural impacts. These include a greater sense of community, the inclusion of marginalised groups, social interaction at creative events and regeneration of relatively deprived areas. The creative sector can also play a key role in improving the image of an area, increasing its attractiveness as a location to live, visit or to set up a business. Minister, a vital contribution to the growth of film and TV animation and creative documentary production in Ireland has been the Section 481 tax credit, which allows a tax credit worth up to 32% of eligible Irish expenditure. An additional incentive has been in place for such projects out of the main industry hubs in hubs in Dublin and Wicklow as well as Cork, in an effort to boost industry in the regions. That provided an extra 5% credit, which is called the Regional Film Development Uplift, on top of the standard rate for this year and last year. The problem is, Minister, that the regional uplift is due to reduce to 3% next year and to 2% in 2022. In the dire circumstances that the industry finds itself in, it is vital that this regional uplift be maintained at its current 5% level, and I would urge you, Minister, and the Minister for Finance to include that adjustment in the upcoming budget and the finance bill. I hardly imagine that there has been very much take-up of the regional uplift or even the Section 481 tax credit generally this year, so such an extension is not going to cost the Exchequer very much. And it should be stressed that such an aid and incentives like this are not a one-way benefit. There is return for such money, as highlighted in a report commissioned by the Government 2 years ago. It was titled an Economic Analysis of the Audiovisual Sector in the Republic of Ireland. The report showed that while government support has played an important role in assisting the audiovisual sector to grow, the film tax relief delivers value for money on both the fiscal net benefit and economic net benefit basis. Every euro of Section 481 outlays generated an average €2.82 in economic net benefit for the Irish economy, and it returned a very minimal of €1.02 in tax revenue to the Irish Government. I also supported the budget submission of the Western AV Forum, calling for the allocation of €1 million for the Project Ireland 2040 National Development Plan funding annually to the Western Region Audio Visual Producers Fund, known as the RAP Fund. It helps to sustain and promote regional audiovisual development across film, television, animation and games. Minister, as I said at the outset, it has been a terrible year for everyone involved in the arts and the creative economy, but nowhere more than in Galway, which has such a promising year in store. I know there is a huge demand from all sectors for a share of the limited pie of the country's finances, but it's an area that badly needs support, and it will be among the last to recover eventually, as the Government has acknowledged.